Hi, you're watching Business Q&A and I'm Gary Alfonso. This week, we're discussing how businesses can combat fraud and financial crime through forensic technology solutions that help detect, mitigate and prevent white-collar crime. Joining me to share insights is Servaas du Plessis, the CEO of iOCO's XTND. Servaas, thanks very much for joining us.
Oh, good to meet you. Thank you, Gary.
So XTND is a part of iOCO's technology group's outsourced knowledge solutions, and it helps businesses to combat white-collar crime through particularly forensic technology solutions. Why are these services critical to the South African business environment?
I think technology is in any business essential, and not only in terms of operations or financial systems or even platforms looking at some of your governance and controls. Forensic technology eases the human effort to detect anomalies in data, and I think it's essential not only for businesses but also for government because it has an impact not only on the business financials but also the well-being of the bigger economy. These technologies, we actually took the reverse way to build the technologies. We have experienced fraud examiners that have over many years done work where government and private companies lost money to fraud schemes, occupational fraud, third-party fraud, and even cybercrime now most recently. And it's always interesting to see that they don't particularly have a budget to prevent it, but once it happens, they suddenly can get access to lots of money to obviously get out of the crap. What our technologies try to do is to help businesses to prevent that from happening. The benefit of technology is it is consistent. It's awake 24/7. It doesn't have mood swings. It doesn't have off days or sick days, and it will give you the information. And obviously, if you overlay it with advanced analytics and artificial intelligence and human behavior, it becomes kind of your watchdog to make sure that you detect these anomalies before they happen.
So, I mean, it's clear that businesses need to take fraud and financial crime seriously, but why is technology essential then for forensic intelligence?
So, intelligence in any forensics, whether that's commercial crime or any other crime, is crucial. Through intelligence, you can identify anomalies, networks, who's involved, who's not involved, who's targeted and who's not targeted. I think it became very prominent when we were grey-listed by the Financial Action Task Force in 2023. And it clearly shows the gaps that we have, not only as a country, but also in companies. Our controls to prevent money laundering and terrorist financing is not adequate. We have to obviously work hard to get those controls in place to get off the grey list as quickly as possible. But what the technologies also, or the gaps also brought about is changes in our local legislation and regulations. If you look at the Financial Intelligence Centre Act, they've included lots more businesses and accountable institutions going forward. So these accountable institutions now have to do something to make sure that they comply, make sure that they prevent and detect money laundering, terrorist financing and fraud. The solutions that we have developed assist the companies to do that on their behalf. So you can focus on growing your company, we'll focus on making sure that you are compliant and that you're not a victim to these syndicates and fraudsters targeting your business.
When you deal with technology, one of the great issues in the world is identification and screening and making sure that you are who you say you are, and that you're not some kind of phishing bug trying to get into an organization. Tell us more about VeryXID verification and AuthenticQ's layered voice analysis solutions.
So VeryX is, as you rightly say, it's an identification and screening solution. We aggregate information from various sources to identify who the person is on the other side. And depending on the type of agreement or engagement that the business has with the person, those background screening checks will differ. Sometimes you just need to know that I'm speaking to Gary and he's the right person. Other times you need to know that Gary has the capability to pay back the money that he's loaning or borrowing that he is not someone else with Gary's photograph in the ID book. And those ensuring that you know who you deal with, not only from a regulatory and compliance point of view, but from a business security perspective, I think is crucial. Authentic, on the other side, uses layered voice technology to detect anomalies, human behavior, and it's detected through voice. So either via telephone call or via the automated bot version that will ask you scripted questions, and based on your responses it will detect whether you are truthful, whether you are in the right mind space to contract if that is what you are looking for. It also tests your resilience in terms of cybersecurity. Are your staff compliant with your rules and not exposing your business to, as you pointed out earlier, these imposters that pretend they're somebody else. So I think the two, the one obviously enhances the other one. Both are crucial in businesses, and especially in a fast growing environment where you grow out of your skin. Places like some of the new age banks, you know, in just a matter of a year or two, they have multiple millions of customers. And if you don't know who these customers are, you are setting yourself up for big losses in the future.
All right. Well, it certainly looks like security. We all need to take it very seriously. Servaas, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you, Gary.
That was Servaas du Plessis, CEO of iOCO's XTND, highlighting the vital role of forensic technology in preventing fraud, combating financial crime, and fostering compliance in an increasingly complex business environment.